Right.
Do you know, like, Chevelle would shut down shows,
This is the thing now.
Chevelle would have people in the audience.
She just done a little...
That was my introduction to Chevs.
Yeah, she
was
done a
ballads and real
light
singing.
rapping
Like,
thing
real
and
live
the
singing.
little light singing.
She's amazing.
When she's ready.
She's absolutely amazing.
She done like, don't make her come
Instant
in there
fan.
and mimic anything
Instant
Whitney Houston, anything ballad, anything, because you're going to hire her for your wedding.
She will mash it
Chevelle
up.
is
She will
cold.
mash
She's done
it
a
up.
few weddings and stuff like that.
Swear down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
Chevelle's
I know she
cold.
made some people cry.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I know she made some people cry. Yeah.
Has she ever
Tearjerkers.
been around like the music business in any kind of capacity professionally?
Huh?
Has anyone been around her in the music business from the music? Has she had any opportunities like that at all that you know? I see the couple of videos and that.
Yeah, I mean,
that's all self-made, like you know.
yeah, no, just it's just just the fam, man, just the team. Get me? Shout out SMFY, and you get me?
And can I say, yeah, in her defense, she might disagree. The industry that she might be trying to walk through, I don't think it's gonna accept her until you do the type of thing like let's imagine like cooking with Kyle, for example. You gotta be very exposed, you got to be very sexual, you got to be very feminine. Sometimes that's not where I feel.
I mean, even
do you know what I mean?
I feel like even more so now. There's a lot more pressure for imagey things and to force people to do certain things.
Yeah.
Obviously, Chevelle's like hurting is a little bit separate, and I think she can.
She can do it.
She can do whatever. She just needs the exposure. Hurting's a little bit separate. But I do understand what you're saying. Yeah. And not to say that Chevelle in herself doesn't have that side to her, because she does. Do you know what I mean? When 100%. She's ready to turn up and you get me, get the girls out or whatever, she does her thing. You get me? So
yeah, she seems very confident.
Yeah, she does her thing, man. She's good to go,
but
really.
then,
she just needs...
She's confident. But I wouldn't want to see Chevelle twerking to her tune.
But she's never will be doing that, man.
Exactly.
I don't see that.
But this is the difference between floor and ceiling in the industry that everybody's looking forward to. Do you see what I'm saying? Sometimes the floor is being who you are, and the ceiling is being who you're not.
There are exceptions to this rule.
Do you know what I mean?
But what we're saying now, we're saying potentially...
Because her talent is actually that
potentially sex sells.
No, but what I think you're
That's
saying is
it.
if she had an opportunity in the music game or something properly, professionally...
I think she would blow...
Yeah, no, let me say what I'm saying. I think you're saying that she would... potentially have to maybe do something like that to get noticed. Is that what you're saying?
Who said that?
No, that's what he's
That's
saying.
what I'm saying. 100%. She would have to do something, either say something provocative, look provocative, or do something mad in a video, and then it's gonna get a whole nother.
That can apply for people that may not, like a lot of people have voice in it, but like she's got
character.
She's got uniqueness. She's got something about her, and her voice is A1. And that's not even with vocal training or nothing like that.
Naturally.
I feel like for her versatility and her range in music is what sets her apart from other people. Do you know what I mean? Styling, all these other things, they're things that go for marketing and that. And that's something that she ain't had. Most people ain't had that marketing hand. Oh, we're gonna go this way, rare. She never had a stylist or nothing like that. Get me? But I don't think that it's even with what she does. I think that she's actually perfect for like in her. Do you know what I mean? I don't think she's gonna. There's nothing twerky about what she does or whatever. I feel like her things.
Can I just add?
Her thing's cool.
I think the perfection to her style would come in something like, let's say, you might disagree, let's say a musical, voiceovers, ballads, wedding stuffs, things like that. But then you see when it comes to the entertainment side of things or the industry side of things, I don't feel like, let me not speak for her, I'm saying for myself, I don't feel like she would fit that demographic, because the way I know her, she wouldn't be willing to style up them demographics. So she would stay in her lane. But then what's good about knowing your lane is you can exceed in the lane that you're in and have no need to look above.
Okay, what would you say her lane is?
You see, you put her in like a singing theatre type of thing. You put her as ballads. You put her as a singer. Cool. You start to put her as an R&B artist and a rapper, then I believe that starts to broaden the want of exposure and the want of you have to be more sexualized and things like that. And I'll leave it there, full stop.
Well, I'm going to answer what you originally ask me. And I think the type of artist she is, I just don't think you can actually even bring them into the game and try and attempt to say, oh, you got to twerk or you got to do something. I just don't think it happens to artists like her if they get brought into the system. And if someone does say that's a big red flag to say, I don't need to be working with these people.
But most of them have done that. Aaliyah, Beyonce, Destiny's Child, Lauryn Hill, all of them have come in the game innocent.
I think they wanted to do it.
I don't know. I feel like they wanted to, maybe, or they were coerced into, maybe.
You accidentally put Lauryn Hill in there.
Yeah, that's what I think. Dynamite never did it.
What's she done?
Okay, fair.
I worked with Dynamite. She never did it once. Yeah. She never did it once.
But Dynamite, I feel like she stayed true to certain things, and that's why her career hit a ceiling. Now, if you say no to certain, if you don't
that's
say no,
interesting.
you know what I mean?
Would you agree? Would you? I know that might be a hard thing to say for you, but like, would you agree that there's that she's hit a ceiling? Hit a ceiling in her career.
I don't even think she even reached her full potential.
Why?
Well, hence, that's kind of amounts to the same thing, though.
Why?
No, because my thing is, personally knowing it, innit, and being part of the story, I think it went from no one really knowing you to everybody looking at you in the street and saying hello. And that's a big head fuck for a lot of people. Yeah? That's why a lot of people turn to recluse and all these type of things.
Yeah.
And I think when you have so much success straight away, sometimes, you know, what's happening, all the problems come after, because guess what? It's about how do I manage this success? How do I live in this success? How do I adapt in this success, right?
Am I wrong to say if she managed it in a less mannerisable way, would she still in a less? So if she dealt with the thing with no manners and just decided to be scatty with it, could you have seen potential for her to move from where she was?
No, but what
I could have. If she decided to be the scatty rapper after Miss Dynamite in a full tracksuit, Miss Dynamite tee, all nice and PG orientated and whatever, bust up a little garage was so solid, cool. But then if she started to sexualize herself, I believe that ceiling would have grew so much more higher, because you've seen it with all these artists that came before. And most of these artists come from a church singing background or a country vibe or a less sexualized version of life. Then all of a sudden, they let out a one innocent album, then the next thing is Bad Girl Riri or Sasha Fierce or what could have been Dynamite.
All right, so let's...
All right, let me answer. What I think is this. I think the points you're making are quite valid if that's what's happening. But what you're doing is you're making assumptions, I'm taking from what you're saying, on where you think Dynamite is or what happened to her. My thing is she had a hot album. Second album weren't that hot. Took a bit of a break, had a child, had a son. Really focused on that. And then she's popped her head back up when it was the Katie B thing, couple of things. But when I speak to her, and what I know of Naomi is this. She doesn't really just write songs, you know, for everyone to listen. You know, like some people get into the game and they just realise they know how to write a pop song or a hit song and they just repeat it and they make money out of that and it's good, right? She's not that type of artist. She's the type of artist, she's got to do a bit of living before she comes with the next subject matter. Right? She's got enough subject matter now. I know, I've heard some of it and I just talking to her, I know. So now it's about the decision, do I want to come again? And what that means. Okay. Because, you know, a lot of people, she's a real one is what I'm saying.
Me not knowing Miss Dynamite, I kind of saw some of that, like having a baby and all that.
Yeah.
And like, we kind of see it with lots of female artists. They get to a certain point and they either get married and have a baby with it, and then they kind of take their foot off the gas. And I feel like the market is, for some reason, whenever we do things, they age our shit, innit? So the market is, we've moved on now, kind of thing. Sometimes you leave and there's that same space ain't there for you. Like,
yeah, I don't think that's happened to her.
No, I'm not saying that. But we've seen that with lots of artists, right? That they disappear. They were hot. They go cold because they had a baby or whatever. Actresses and that, and it's like they don't get back on their mojo. They don't get back on it, right? So we kind of have a shorter shelf life for black artists in general. Like to be like you're popping unless you become what they call an icon. Now I think Miss Dynamite is on the icon cusp. Yeah, she's close to there, yeah, because there's so much nostalgia around
100%,
her, right? 100%. So I feel like when you're an artist like that, you always have a space to come back. But what we are talking about is not having a space to come back, but is will you ever fulfill the potential that people saw in you to be like this megastar? And it really depends on if that's what the person wants. Do you know what I mean? Because there's enough
very good point.
There's enough bread in there. Do you want to be like what we talking
about?
about?
Listen, where I was getting to with that answer was this: is where you're going. Like, Naomi's in charge of Naomi, so no major label can't come in her face and fool up her head and make her come out, and she can't. They just can't.
And this is
so the fool up your head is what, like, actually give you shit deals or encourage you to do
the
things.
Fool up your head is like, hey, you need to get back out there, man. You had too much of a break, right. Like, some people fall into it and just get guided into whatever. Like, even if you're not, enough people will come out and have like 5 hit albums. If they take a break in between, you know, it's very hard to catch that energy back, which I think what you're saying, right? And it happens with big acts, right?
Timing definitely is a thing, though, right?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, I think fact shows you that it is, right? Looking at history, that's what I'm saying, right? And my thing is with Nye has never been in love with the game that much, from what I understand. She can speak for herself, but from what I know of her, do you know what? You can't just. She ain't just gonna jump up and come do anything for anyone. But if she comes to do her thing, she's gonna do it.
All right.
Yeah, and that's what I know.
This is why now you see the way I perceived Miss Dynamite, for example. I've perceived this woman, as seeing something in front of her that she doesn't agree with, so she said no, and her career stopped there.
We like to think
hold
of
on.
Yeah,
how did you get there, though? How did you get there?
Hold on, you got
we
there.
just make these assumptions,
In the beginning, it's an assumption. It's an assumption.
Like, you go off the blueprint, if I could add, of Lauryn Hill.
You do.
Because it's like when they come back, they do slightly hint at Jamelia.
Yeah.
Have you seen Jamelia's latest stuff?
Is mad.
D. Have you seen?
I saw a title the other day.
Wait, hold on.
Big up Jamelia, though. I like it.
So let's be real. We're putting Dynamite and that in this type of lane of you was talented, successful. Actually, the mainstream was seemed to be receptive to you, rare. You got to a certain point,
man. They loved her.
You got to a certain point, and then you just gone and, you know, go get married or have a youth or rare. And just, so from our perception, we think, rah, you know what?
You've seen
you see stuff.
And
you're not part of, you're not really trying to go further. And you know what? Sorry, I'm just giving the picture, because 9 out of 10 of them come back and say some stuff like, you know what, I love this rare, but I saw certain things that I weren't really into, or I saw it going in a direction, and for my own peace of mind, I decided to kind of take my foot off the gas.
Yeah, because listen, I'm going to say it now, I know everything that went on with Nye back then and all that. I know everything because I'm a manager. So what I'm saying is that I was more in charge than anyone around her with Nye. Like, in terms of Naomi listened to me and I was her manager, no one really could get between that. You know what I mean? When they did, that's when it kind of fell apart, right? So I'm saying to you...
When they did. So